This is me in my very own 1v1 map, about to 1v1 one of my friends. On his end, he thinks this is just any ordinary 1v1 to practice fighting. But secretly, I've hidden power-ups and advantages throughout the map so that it is literally impossible for him to win. Now your first thought might be, Red, are you that bad that you have to cheat in order to win? Well, the simple answer is yes. I mean, you see, recently, my reputation in the friend group hasn't been that good. Although I'm a pretty good player myself, I haven't been performing that well recently. And this got me thinking, what can I do in order to gain my respect back? Well, here's what I thought of. If I could beat some of the best players in the friend group in a 1v1, that would earn me some respect back. But obviously, I can't beat a lot of these players normally, which is why I will be secretly adding buffs and power-ups in my 1v1 map to beat them. And this is how I did it. Firstly, I made a plan on what to add. Yes, there has to be buffs on my end, but also disadvantages on their end, making it harder for them to win as well. And so, the first thing I added, a black screen. I'm not even kidding. Now, although I do want to keep these buffs hidden and not so obvious, this black screen gives me a huge advantage. I mean, it literally blocks the entire POV of the opponent. But this buff only works on bad players, since all you need to do to know if it's a problem on your end or the map is to click the escape button. And that's why I added two more advantages for me, a damage buff and a score adding device. Now, the 1v1s I'm going to be doing in this video will be a first to 10, making it a pretty long 1v1. And chances are the players I'll be facing are definitely going to be locked in. So me adding points to myself while fighting will make it pretty hard for the players to notice. And the damage buff, this was originally going to be a damage debuff for the opponents, but I later thought that this would be pretty obvious, so I just gave myself more damage. And now that all of these buffs were ready, I need to test them so I know that they would work properly against my opponents. Which, now that I mention it, here are the people I'll be facing. I'll be facing a total of 4 players, all in their own difficulty: easy, medium, hard, and straight up impossible. Now for the easy part, I'll be facing one of my good friends, Hob. Now the reason I put him in easy is because he kind of quit the game like 3 weeks ago for like a week, and he doesn't really play as much as me. And since he is this low on the ranking, I will be using all the buffs just to test them on him. For the medium difficulty, I have none other than Kyri, who is probably one of the best competitive players I know, but he isn't really that good when it comes to creative. And for the hard difficulty, I have Baz. Now this guy is definitely a worthy opponent for the hard tier. He's Division 4 just like me, and he's pretty good in creative as well. And for the impossible tier, yeah, I'll just tell you later, because now it's time to test these power-ups in my rigged 1v1 map. And although I could just test these on the easy tier, I wanted to keep it as low profile as possible. And that's why I tested these buffs with Dexi. No, not that one, my Dexi. That sounded kind of weird. Now this guy isn't that bad, and using him to test these power-ups would probably be the best way to do it. And although he didn't know what was going to happen in this 1v1, I made sure he doesn't leak anything by making him sign an NDA. Definitely very professional. And now, it was finally time to test these buffs. And in order for these buffs to work, I would need a couple of devices in game. And in the map, I hit a button that would give me everything I needed. But since I loaded into the map with Dexi and didn't want him to know about this, I just gave him a lame excuse to change his skin. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, it's actually better if you change your skin. Don't put on my skin, but put on anything else. Okay.
Yeah, the other Dexi skin.
But now, it was finally time to test all of these buffs and advantages in a first to 10 against Dexi. So look here, basically what we're gonna do is just 1v1, first to 10, no win by 2, okay?
Okay.
Sounds okay? So
Okay,
just play normally, try to win.
Okay. Okay. I see. It's gonna be like before and after your perfect routine.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Dexi was clueless. In the first round, I had the damage buff activated, and somehow he didn't even notice that my AR bullets were doing 50 damage per hit. But moving on, I was flying through these rounds. But like I said, I wanted to test all of these buffs to see if they work properly. So after I got 3 eliminations, I used my favorite buff, the black screen.
Yo, what? What popped on my screen? Something popped up.
What happened?
Is this you? Did you hack my PC?
What happened?
Wait, what?
This worked perfectly, and despite it being kind of faulty by not disappearing after being eliminated, it worked flawlessly. And the fact that I pulled out the device right in front of him to fix it, I low-key thought I was about to get caught, but I didn't, so I kept going.
What the fuck?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, I don't know, black square. Yes, what's in my screen? Yeah, come on, yeah. What? Is this you? I swear this is you.
Well, I don't know what's happening.
Look at my clip.
No, just keep fighting,
Yeah.
No!
Come in, Red. Oh god, what the? Why is the black screen popping in my box? Or my screen? It's fine. I know you're scared.
Nice. Let's go.
Okay, I'm studying so hard. Wait, I can't get 10-0. No.
Yeah, that didn't really work, because I did go on to 10-0. But now, it was time to test these buffs against real opponents. And the first one, Hob. And I did the exact same thing in order to get the devices in my inventory. But while recording, I made a big mistake. That being not recording my mic. But this is no problem, since I still have both POVs, and it was still really funny.
I'm getting fucking black screen, bro.
Yeah, I think Hob was pretty confused. But after this round, I tried using the damage buff. But after using all of the buffs, it didn't take that long until I beat Hob as well. But now, it was time for the first difficult opponent, being Kyri in medium difficulty. But there was a problem with this 1v1 as well. The first time I 1v1'd him, I beat him pretty easily, and he had no clue what was happening. But I messed up the audio in this 1v1, again. And that's why I requested a rematch. And he still had no clue on what was happening. But now, it's time to beat Kyri. Again.
Already.
Oh, okay, Kyri. Okay, chill.
Ah!
200.
He's got shade. He's mad and stuff.
Where are you going? Come back.
Oh wait, oh my god, Smacky, look at my peg, No, I'm not blaming on my peg. I never said it's
So this 1v1 was going pretty well. Besides Kyri eliminating me once, I was able to beat him even without using these buffs. Maybe it's not so difficult to beat. And so, I started using some of the other buffs. I'm scared. I don't have, I have a black eye like a fan. No. Yeah, I kind of died using the 2x damage buff. But in the next round, I had a crazy clip on him.
I shot red.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he got destroyed. But after this, Kyri pretty much gave up, and it was pretty easy finishing the 1v1. GG's, man. And since this 1v1 went so well, it was time for the hard opponent. Wait. So like I said previously, this is Baz, a Division 4 player who's also pretty good at the game. I mean, just take a look at this free build he was doing 10 seconds before 1v1ing me. But as you can probably guess, I forgot to record my microphone here as well. Yeah, it gets a lot worse later, don't worry. But this 1v1 was going pretty good as well. Using the score adding device, I was able to easily win these 1v1s. And apparently, there were other disadvantages in the map, making my opponents mantle and lag.
Yeah, brother, why do I keep mantling in this map? Why is just this map? No, man. I'm so laggy in this map. I'm 30 ping.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect my map to help me even without doing anything. But since it was lagging for Baz and he did mantle on the wall, the rest of these 1v1s were pretty easy. But now, it's finally time to test these buffs on the hardest opponent out of them all, the impossible tier. Now you might be wondering, who is this guy? Is it Peterbot, Mr. Savage, Zen? Well, arguably better. This is Sparky, a friend of mine and most definitely the best Fortnite player I know. Now, I've known this guy for like 2 years and probably played thousands of 1v1s against him. And out of all of these 1v1s, I've only had one recorded instance of winning. Yeah, it was bad. So trust me when I say it, this dude is definitely worthy of the impossible tier. But there is something else I need to tell you, besides me forgetting to record my microphone here as well. There is another buff in this map, which I've kept a secret just until now. Because while I was fixing the weapons in the map, I discovered 2 variants of the pump shotgun. Can you spot the difference? Probably not, because these are the exact same pump. The differences being it looking a bit different, the sound of the shotgun, and the damage it does. The first shotgun you see here, this is what everyone else has been using in the map, and this does 110 damage to the body. Now the shotgun you see here, this is what I've been using, and it does 128 damage to the body. Now although this is a pretty small difference, in a 1v1 the damage adds up. But now, it's time to face the final opponent in this video. If I can manage to beat Sparky in this first to 10, I'll be seen as the most feared player in the friend group, and all it takes is beating Sparky. Sparky. But there are some things I need to do so Sparky doesn't catch on to what I'm doing. The main thing being using the black screen. Now, although this is probably one of the best buffs I have, it is so obvious that I stopped using it against the hard difficulty as well. That means I have to rely on the damage buff and score adding device. But I can't just use these whenever I want to though. I need to make it look legit, meaning I have to also win rounds in order to use them. But without further ado, here's the final 1v1. Legacy. Getting nervous.
Fine.
At it. 100.
I think that was a good trade for you, bro.
50. Okay, so you just have everything. Okay. 1-0, 1-0. Oh, this is a bad lift. How do you get everything? Yeah, no, I'm just like, chill, bro. No! Now, although I would love to say that I went on to win this 1v1, it didn't really go that way. Although I was able to eliminate Sparky a couple of times and make the score 2-2, it quickly went from 2-2 to 3-2 to 5-2, all the way up to 9-5. And then this happened. You're probably gonna get it first try as well, yeah. Oh my days, bro. How do you get everything first try, man? Yeah, at last I didn't beat Sparky. If only I used the buffs more, maybe it would have been closer. But there again, it would have also been more obvious. But I didn't want to give up just yet. Yes, I did lose the first to 10, but I did also want to use these buffs to get a reaction from him. And so, here it is. Alright, no, look here. Okay, no, as a last resort, okay? What if we just extend it to 15? Just give me, like, you know, a little bit more chance now? Question mark? Question mark?
Alright. Why are we laughing? Why is it okay? Yeah. What? Bro.
What's up?
No, nothing. Okay,
What's
so
up, what's
why
up?
is the score changed? No. Yeah, I guess, bro.
Yeah. GG's, man.
Yeah, GG's. Guess I lost.
Yeah, I take that back. I feel like I won.